Happy Thursday, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Hope you're having a great one. We have a very interesting market that we'll be discussing today. The focus of today's video, at least the first half or so, of course, is going to be Ethereum because it really is leading the charge here, rallying at a time when, as you can see, the rest of the market is down about 0.8% overall, but Ethereum up on the hour, up on the day, and up on the week. We'll be taking a look at that. As a reminder, you guys can always check out our price prediction articles, some of which are transformed into video format, but I don't necessarily get around to all of them. As you can see, we're on altcoinbuzz.io. We have here price predictions for Ethereum. We ask, can it reach $5,000? In my opinion, yes. Of course, it's just a matter of time. We have to look out for what are the checkpoints that are going to get us to that 5K mark and beyond. We also have a similar write-up for NEO, which is an old favorite that's definitely making a comeback. All you guys have to do is hover over the reviews tab here and then click on technical analysis. That'll bring you to all of the price prediction pieces. Again, some of which I've turned into video format, some of which I haven't just yet. So we'll be discussing all kinds of updates with regards to Ethereum. I'll give you guys my take on why it's performing as well as it is. We also have news out of Chiliz. We have news out of PolkaFoundry. Syntropy is in the news, as well as some other high-level macro positive messaging that I want to convey. So if you guys like this kind of content, Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, Ethereum, and other altcoins, then be sure to like and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz. So it is a bit of a down market today. I'm wearing my hunter's cap. I actually acquired this just driving through Eganville one time. So shout out to anybody that's watching this in Eganville. Hit me up in the comments below if that's the case, but I'm hunting for deals, so I'm feeling the camo cap here. There are a lot of good deals right now in the crypto market, and projects are kind of down overall, but I want to focus on the highlights. I want to focus on the optimistic side of things today, and that really is Ethereum. In fact, going back to CoinGecko.com for just a moment, we can really see here that unfortunately, Bitcoin's down on the hour, on the day, and on the week. And of course, that affects the rest of the crypto market, including a lot of the other altcoins. But Ethereum is just rallying to a new all-time high. And there are some projects that are doing okay, but to be honest, they're kind of few and far between. One notable mention I will point out is Solana, up 3.1% this hour, 13.5% in these last 24 hours. A couple of other decent performers, but Ethereum, for a project of its size, is really doing notable stuff. We'll get to the all-time high in just a second. I just want to preface that part of the discussion. We're here on EthereumWorldNews.com to give you guys a sense of just how well Ethereum has been doing over the course of these last few months. So the ETH network has settled $1.5 trillion in transactions in the first quarter alone of this year, of 2021. So in Q1 2021, $1.5 trillion worth of transactions. How does that compare? Well, in effect, it's an amount that exceeds the last 7 quarters combined and is without a doubt the highest quarter that we've seen so far out of Ethereum. Again, we're talking about quarterly transaction volume. So that $1.5 trillion mark, that was achieved this Q1 of 2021. That's more cumulatively than all of the previous 7 quarters for Ethereum. If we extrapolate, if Ethereum does only $1.5 trillion per quarter for the rest of the year, that brings us to a total of $6 trillion in settled volume in 2021. I have a feeling that we're going to see numbers north of that. We're going to see even higher numbers because, as you can see on the graph here, and I always like to caution that trees never grow to the sky. So you can't necessarily extrapolate into the stratosphere. Things are ultimately going to come back down to earth a little bit. But I think Q2 of Ethereum's 2021 run here could at least match, if not surpass, what we've seen so far in Q1. And even modestly extrapolating, I think I'm inclined to believe that we're going to go beyond 6 trillion this year. So let's officially get the word on where Ethereum stands. At the time of this recording, it is up over 6.6% on the day, now over $2,600, as you can see, again, in a down market. And that's always, to me, one of the most impressive things is that if you have great performance, that's fine. But if it's flying in the face, if that's going against the grain of most of the other projects out there, including Bitcoin, it makes it that much more impressive, in my opinion. So Ethereum now above $2,600 with an official all-time high of, we're just below it. We are just below this all-time high. Of According to CoinGecko here, it is $2,603. That was set 28 minutes ago. I think very possibly by the end of this video, we're going to see a new all-time high. Probably by the time you're watching this video, a couple hours after my recording, you're going to see ETH at a new all-time high. Let's check back in at the end of this video for a price update, but I think safe to say we're in all-time high territory, regardless of what number is the latest and what you may currently be looking at as you watch this video. Let's take a look at what Raoul Pal had to say, some of the most bullish, casual armchair analysis that we've seen in a long time when it comes to Ethereum. To be brutally honest, I stare at the ETH chart of ETH, BTC, and I see an enormous rounded bottom with potentially huge breakout just above. So he's talking about this particular chart here, and as you can see, this goes back all the way to 2018, almost 2017, and it's a fair point. You know, we often talk about Ethereum, and perhaps this is something I'm guilty of, but we often talk about Ether in terms of its USD value, and that's perhaps being a little bit negligent about its Bitcoin value. But as you can see here, we're on a relative low. So one Ethereum valued at about 0.043 Bitcoin. There's no reason to suggest that as the price appreciates, we couldn't get higher or at least closer to what was historically a precedent in the 0.1 range, i.e. one Ethereum being worth 0.1 Bitcoin. If that were to happen, you know, like in a snap and it just instantly were the case, then you'd see Ethereum right now trading at about $5.5 thousand. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think Raoul Pal makes a good observation here. There is an argument to be made that will slowly be gravitating in that direction. He continues, when you price anything up in DeFi, decentralized finance, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, community tokens, or even metaverse worlds, everything is basically priced in ETH, including designers' time, etc. ETH is rapidly becoming the currency of the digital world, and Bitcoin is the pristine collateral and base layer. I like the way he frames that. The ETH space is growing at 100% year over year versus 50% year over year for Bitcoin, and it's attracting a massive proportion of the developer talent and applications too. I'll pause just for a moment before continuing because the knee-jerk criticism that we've all heard now, it's actually a little bit, it's a tired critique in my opinion. Ethereum is too expensive and it's too congested. It's too slow. The gas fees are out of control. We have to understand is that, developers and programmers are working from a fairly learned perspective. They are aware of that. They can account for it. The flip side of slow and expensive is the fact that it's established and secure. And, I can't speak for all developers out there. I am not a coder. I am not a programmer. But there is a certain level of confidence that an individual has when working with Ethereum because it is more established. It is more secure. The network effect is there. That's a consideration too. So nothing is monodimensional. Problems are multivariate, as I like to say. And the flip side of Ethereum being congested and expensive is that it is dominant as a network and secure. Security is a big deal after all. Continuing here, Raoul Pal. At this point in the risk cycle, and with ETH 2.0 coming, which is going to offer cheaper fees and less supply, ultimately turning Ethereum into a deflationary asset, I'm struggling to not sell all my Bitcoin to move my entire core position to ETH. To be clear, I'm a massive Bitcoin bull, but I think ETH is the better asset allocation for performance right now. Again, this is no attack on the SOV properties, etc. of Bitcoin, store of value, but over time, Ethereum has outperformed since inception, which is a non-deniable fact, and soon it will probably surpass its all-time high versus Bitcoin too. It's entirely possible. Okay, reason number 2 why I'm wearing my Eganville buck camo hunting cap is because Ethereum is being bolstered right now by Canadian ETFs, exchange traded funds. Not one, not two, but at least 3. And as per my understanding, there are more in development here. So this is actually from a couple of days ago, the 20th of April. 3 Ether ETFs begin trading on Toronto Stock Exchange. So 3 exchange traded funds, otherwise known as ETFs, began trading on the TSX on Tuesday. This was a couple of days ago. This is something that received widespread coverage. Crypto convert JP Morgan is also hiring developers skilled in Ethereum. This goes back actually only a couple of days ago, but we saw more and more the fact that JP Morgan is expanding its search and a criterion, I suppose, for them as far as the candidates that they're looking for is developers skilled in Ethereum. The US bank has 64 open positions for individuals experienced with blockchain development. I think for JP Morgan, they don't do anything willy-nilly, right? This isn't some impulsive decision. They understand all of the factors that we've looked at so far in this video. They also understand that ETH 2.0 is coming out. And imagine for a second, if you will, ETH 2.0 is just announced kind of by Vitalik Buterin, for example, in his nonchalant kind of way, and everything just changes overnight. I mean, we have all these positive variables already in place. Ethereum 2.0 is just going to be a game changer. It's going to remove a lot of the arguments that the naysayers currently have, and it's just going to open up this space in an exponential way. I think my contention is that JP Morgan is betting on that. And whether it happens in a couple of months or a couple of years, it's kind of inevitable, right? So JP Morgan is positioning themselves for that eventuality. You also have this here on Yahoo Finance. This goes back to the ETF news. So Ethereum ETFs launch in Canada today. And actually, as a matter of fact, I kind of celebrated this in my own personal way. The 20th of April happens to be my birthday. Same day as Hitler. It's also a 420 kind of day, so it's a weird day, but I like to associate it now with the fact that 3 ETFs were launched in Canada. So that was part of the celebration for me. I'm very happy about that. And we talked a moment ago about JP Morgan. Goldman Sachs is also bandwagoning, if you will, into Ethereum, as are a lot of institutional players. And for every headline that we see about Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan or ETFs, whatever, there are at least tenfold. There are 10 times or more headlines behind the scenes of companies that are slowly getting into the game with Ethereum. We saw this out of China with Meitu, I think it's Meitu. There are many others that are not yet publicizing their investments. We understand that Bitcoin is the big mama, as Raoul Pal said, the ultimate SOV store of value. But I think a lot of people are starting to look to Ethereum because they see that same growth potential that Raoul Pal does. So with all that being said, we're on Forbes.com. Goldman Sachs to become second big bank offering Bitcoin to wealthy clients. They're, of course, in my opinion at least, this is subjective, but they're, of course, shoring up their offerings beyond just Bitcoin. They told CNBC, I should say, that they're going to be offering a full spectrum, in quotations, whatever that means, of cryptocurrency investments for its private wealth clients within the next few months. If you're offering a full spectrum, then you're offering more than Bitcoin, right? It stands to reason. If you're offering more than Bitcoin, then you must be offering Ethereum. So guys, these are all the reasons that I'm excited about Ethereum. Let's just go back and check live at the price. There you go. It's up already as I record this video now, $2,612.05. It's not yet registered as an all-time high on CoinGecko. The all-time high still reads as 2603.91. But I guess this means that we're at a new all-time high. Comment below, guys. Let me know what the price of Ethereum is at the time you're watching this video. And how long do you think it's going to take to reach $3,000? After that, don't forget to go back and check out our technical analysis piece. We give you our take on when it's going to hit $5,000. Guys, if you've been holding ETH as I have, as I've been promoting really for years, since the bearish trends that we saw in 2018, since the lows of $200, $150, sub $100 ETH. If you guys have been holding, you've been adding to your position, despite the fact that we never offer financial advice, I want to congratulate you members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Ethereum is a forever hold. Make sure you're staking it, or at least some of it if possible, and hold on to that Ethereum because you are holding an asset that will change the world. Just my subjective point of view. As you can tell, I'm excited, but that is my view, that is my perspective and my contention. Kudos if you did the same. Okay, let's start discussing some other altcoins, and we'll begin with a little bit of macro news here that's positive on Cointelegraph.com. Coinbase has hired former Google Pay exec to lead India operations. So Coinbase has started hiring in India despite the rumors of an impending ban on crypto in that country, in India. It's almost as if Coinbase knows something. It's almost as if they're calling the bluff of the Indian government, or they feel that, even if they do implement the ban, it doesn't matter for various reasons. I'm not advocating law breaking. I'm not, suggesting that you should defy your government, but the reality is that any government can come down with some decree and blanket statement that crypto is banned, that you're not allowed to use it. VPNs exist, private networks exist, and I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world, but there's plenty of ways to bypass a government ban. The government trying to ban cryptocurrency is one of the most futile things, and it's just a scare tactic. It's just FUD. Quote, the plan is to hire hundreds of employees across all levels in engineering, product management, UX design, research, and program management within the next 1 to 2 years to build out a full tech hub in India. That's according to an official press release by Coinbase. So you guys can see that they're not deterred. They remain enthusiastic. You can check this out. We'll link to it in the description below. PolkaFoundry here is in the news talking about Raze network, which brings privacy-preserving DeFi to the PolkaFoundry ecosystem by employing ZK snarks to the Zther framework. DeFi users can fully exploit a limitless combination of composable cross-chain products with privacy preserved. PFK. Full read is available here on medium.com. If you're interested, we'll link to this in the description below. Let's talk a little bit about one of our favorites. Chiliz is in the news. Alexander Dreyfus here reporting that they burnt more than $1 million right now. Interestingly, we generated $180,000 of fees yesterday on the Chiliz and Socios ecosystem. That would be about $50 million of annual run rate. Well, it doesn't work like that, but it does show that the CHZ ecosystem is growing every day. Speaking of which, here we have Legia Warsaw. I am not a big football fan. I think I've heard this name, but I imagine they're a football team out of Warsaw, out of Poland. I'd be willing to make a bet. So Legia Warsaw, in partnership with Chiliz, talking about daily growth, they've announced that they're going to launch the LEG fan token on blockchain-based fan engagement and rewards platform, socios.com. The FTO is planned on the 4th of May, so be on the lookout for that. LEG, Legia Warsaw. We talked about this yesterday, but just to revisit the story briefly, it's being covered here by dappradar.com. The 24-hour PancakeSwap transaction volumes have eclipsed total Ethereum transactions. We also talked about how PancakeSwap had eclipsed, I believe also on the 24-hour Uniswap volume, despite the fact that Uniswap volume over the course of a week has achieved a $10 billion trading volume milestone for the first time. So depending on whether you're looking at the 24-hour versus the weekly, sometimes, company A comes out on top, sometimes company B comes out on top, again, depending on what your time frame is. But now PancakeSwap over 24 hours have eclipsed total Ethereum transactions. That is very significant. Of course, this is courtesy of Binance Smart Chain, which, as this article claims, is just getting started. So in the past 24 hours, the number of transactions happening on leading Binance Smart Chain exchange PancakeSwap has been more than the entire Ethereum network combined. According to data from BSC Scan, PancakeSwap had over 2 million transactions compared to Ethereum's 1.55 million in the last 24 hours. And that's despite all of this positivity, all of the great metrics and numbers that we discussed a little bit earlier regarding Ethereum PancakeSwap. All I can really say is kudos and congratulations. That is very significant and very impressive news, not to be underplayed in the least. Kudos to Cake and Cake holders as well. Clearly, it's a functioning project, very pragmatic, and it's doing a lot of real world transaction volume. To me, that's the measure of a great project, much more so than price, is how you're able to handle transaction volume, because that's the best stress test for any project in this industry. And to a certain extent, Ethereum has been faltering recently when it comes to that, of course. So PancakeSwap, kudos for picking up the slack. Awesome. Syntropy, NOIA, their price has rallied 65% after announcing, get this, a SpaceX partnership. This from yesterday. Syntropy price lifted off, pun intended, I suppose, after the satellite internet-focused project announced partnership with Elon Musk's SpaceX. Very impressive indeed. You guys can read the article here for full context. Now, Syntropy, ticker NOIA, N-O-I-A. It's down a little bit on the day, but that's kind of because all altcoins, unfortunately, are down on the day right now, sitting at about 82.5 cents. Still want to highlight the fact that, because that article that I referenced was published 18 hours ago, there was still a pretty significant jump here over the course of, this was now, I guess, about 48 or so hours ago. So up from 55 cents on the news of that SpaceX partnership to about 87. Very impressive indeed. Down a little bit off of that high. We're looking at the 7-day chart here, but still very impressive, taking a look at the last 30 days or so. So a bit of a drop off, but very good news to help bolster up the price of Syntropy. Again, it happens to be down right now at the time that I'm recording, but who cares? We don't like to be too myopic when we consider pricing, right? Guys, I talked earlier about, for what I feel is the value of Ethereum in the long run, and how I've always kind of, even during times when it was way undervalued, I personally always felt that Ethereum was the greatest altcoin out there and a pretty reliable long-term source of income if you've accumulated, if you've staked it. In my opinion, not financial advice, but it's always worth staking a portion of your holdings, so putting that on a platform that is trusted, such as a crypto.com, such as a BlockFi. If you're interested in this article, it's a great read here on bitcoinist.com, the top 5 most promising DeFi staking opportunities of 2021. So just reading briefly here. In recent months, there's been an influx of projects that offer numerous staking opportunities with their own set rewards. However, there are specific DeFi protocols that stand out. These products not only represent the highest potential behind staking in its present form, but allow a glimpse of the future of where staking becomes a flourishing and sustainable channel of passive income for users. My point of view, just subjectively, personally speaking, is that if you're not accumulating or accruing passive income in this space, you're missing out. Like, you have every opportunity to make money while you sleep in cryptocurrency. And so this could be a good read for you if you're not familiar with these platforms. They are, I believe in no particular order, Synthetix, Nimbus at number 2. I don't know why it's bulleted there instead of numbered. Mirro Protocol at number 3, KAVA at number 4, and Celo at number 5. Check this out, guys. Whether or not you choose to go with any of these or some of the others that I mentioned earlier, get into passive income, get into staking. You're just missing out if you're not part of that in cryptocurrency, because that's one of the best ways to make money. It also helps, personally, I find, it helps you when you lock in funds, and it means you're not day trading, you're not leverage trading with them. It kind of keeps you a little bit more disciplined. That kind of comes down to a personal decision. But check out this article. I'll link to it in the description below. Want to highlight a couple of quick updates here before we finish up. Bifrost is in the news. Bifrost is in the news at Bifrost Finance. So Bifrost, SALP, that's Slot Auction Liquidity Protocol, will issue derivatives that let you participate in Polkadot or Kusama network, #crowdloan, while bonding liquidity. Get your bonding token back at any time. How is it going to be a killer? You guys can check out more here. Bifrost, SALP, again, Slot Auction Liquidity Protocol. That's available on link.medium.com. And here, Blindboxes with this announcement at blindboxes_IO is the Twitter handle. Blindboxes partners with Hashlips. Hashlips NFT has produced super rare limited edition artwork to be sold in Blindboxes collections using their gamified mystery box mechanism. If you guys would like to learn more about that mechanism, check out Robert's video. There should be a card popping up right about now. Blindboxes, I got to say, is a really cool, I think, innovation project when it comes to NFTs and how they can, become desirable collectibles in this space. I think they're doing great work in a very unique way. Programmable #NFT art is here. Learn more on blindboxesio.medium.com. Well, guys, before signing off, I just wanted to check back into the price of Ethereum. It is up yet again, $2,623. So it seems like I caught an upswing, because usually when I record, everything just tanks. It's kind of Murphy's Law. That's how it goes to me. $2,624 now. Fantastic. So if you're not hunting for Ethereum, you're hunting for something else, let me know what that is, what project you're into in the comments below. Also comment on the price of Ether when you're watching this, when you think Ether is going to hit $3,000. I think it's going to be soon at this rate. I encourage you guys to keep following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into our website. It is altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications if you enjoyed today's video. Best of luck, of course, if you do choose to invest. Stay safe, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, on this Thursday. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.